My angels, it's story time. And here we go. Did you just watch me try to... I felt like I wanted to hit it from the front. I think I just ruined our moment. That's all right. That's okay. Laughter is good for the soul. Do I look tired? Because I feel like I look like I feel. Do you know what I mean? I am... Okay, let me just settle myself in. I kind of jumped in my chair this morning, which is kind of impulsive and weird. I should take a moment like an adult. Breathe into it. Center. Yes. That is what I would tell someone else to do. Okay, the nails are gone. Did you notice the nails were gone? I don't know. A lot of people comment on my nails, like in my real life. Oh, it's like they love it or they hate it. Do you know what I mean? It's so great. I love it. I love being a girl. But more than that, I love just seeing what it means to be yourself and be comfortable in your skin. And to have comments come like when you're that version of yourself, it's so different than when you're young and you're like, I don't know why this is coming to mind. Hi, by the way. I hope you guys are well. I'm just jumping into story time. But there was this lady at the checkout, the grocery store the other day, and she was like, how do you do it with your nails? But do you know that woman who gives you that compliment and you're like, I don't know that you really like them. I feel like it's a little bit of a backhanded situation. But she was like, how do you do it, you know? And I was just in my mind, all of those days of going into like academia at the University of Oxford, where when you are a serious student and you are a female, you do not wear makeup, you do not do your nails, you do not primp, because there's this kind of feminist, plus you have the like British, let's take ourselves really seriously, and it is actually so pretentious. I don't just mean British, I mean academia and Britishness. I love you guys. I am like a quarter British now. I've lived here a quarter of my life, so I'm not, I would say certain things about America too, but my point is it's a real thing. But all of those days and years that I showed up and decided to put on my jewelry or my makeup or do my anything, it was like it became a slightly rebellious thing. It became a little bit of a provocative thing. That's so my nature. And I remember once we were studying this book of Esther or something, and this kind of staunch woman was making her arguments in class about how, she was basically anti-sexualizing Esther. And I can't actually remember what I said. Why am I thinking of this story right now? But I was just like, I came at it the opposite way from her. And I remember saying to her, just point blank, you know, with my nails and with my makeup and whatever, and saying, actually, it doesn't matter what a person wears or how they present themselves. You don't ever know what their intention and their motive is. And Esther, when she was doing what she was doing in her life, side note, I made just kind of an argument about how she was politically motivated. She was so super duper duper shrewd, you guys. People don't understand Esther. I don't fully understand Esther. I think that book, y'all, come on. That was my southern side. I am not right today. You guys, I have been actually working all morning, and it's my brain. It's created like an energy. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But anyways, Esther is the only book that God is not mentioned anywhere in the whole book. And theologians like to speculate on why that is. And I just think it's brilliant. It's like one of those books where it's all about like the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding. Did the girl accomplish her mission? Yes, she did. Anyways, Why am I saying all of that? Because I know why. Story time is rabbit trailing. No, there's a point to it. And I noticed in a video that I was editing the other day, I like slurped my coffee down the microphone, and I'm so sorry. I won't do that at all if I can help it. But anyways, so this lady in this checkout who was kind of giving me one of those, like, I could never have nails and exist like that, you know? I just looked at her and I said, you do understand. I'm trying to make myself as useless as possible. And then she laughed. It was like it relieved her for me to acknowledge that nails make you like useless or something, or non-productive, don't take your life seriously. I just wanted to be like, woman. Sorry. I wanted to be like, no, I don't even want to tell people my whole story, because it makes me laugh how much we judge someone without knowing the story that they've been through, what's going on in their lives. It's like, dude, it's like Dolly Parton for me. She is maybe one of my female role models, not joking at all. Not because she has wonderful, big, voluptuous breasts, but because at like 80, oh my God, like God bless her. But because she has absorbed all of the criticisms and the judgments, and she's alchemized them. My phone just died, sorry. My storage is getting bad. I've got to figure this out. Anyways, Dolly, I was just talking about Dolly and how she's just completely, she's very smart and very shrewd, and yet she doesn't take herself too seriously. And maybe I'm doing some external processing in my mind whilst we're meeting today here in this way, and I don't know, maybe somebody else needed to just get a different, like, reframe the way you look at yourself. Look, I've always told you guys, my dad always says, wake up every day and put yourself together the best you can. Now, he would probably tell me to brush my hair, which I don't do much, but it really, like, how you feel about yourself is the most important thing in the world. And if putting on, for Dolly, pink tops and doing her hair big and like heels and getting her cleavage, whatever it is, look, it makes her feel like her. And that's the most important thing in the world. Okay. And that unfortunately, I know the world judges, and that's just what they're going to do. But you just never know. You never know about a person. So I have no idea where was I going with all this. My nails are gone. Why? Because I started a new endeavor, a new job with just something, it's a bit of a part-time thing, but I'm so happy, and I wanted to tell you guys this morning. I'm going to tell you what is going on with that, and then I'm going to get an encouraging card read, because I really enjoyed yesterday, and maybe it was just me, but I really love to get out of my brain and out of my teaching mode for a second, and to just connect with you guys and get a message for you, because we're all looking for that encouragement, right? So in terms of aligning ourselves, right? Manifesting, people say. I like to think of it as, first of all, you don't manifest what you want. You manifest who you are. And that's a really important distinguished difference between, I would say, like people who are cheaply manifesting. I don't know. I don't even want to have the whole conversation except to say, yes, you can think about whatever you want and have whatever you want. I suppose if you want to just like take it like that and manifest a car, is that okay? Go ahead, have fun. But really, when we're talking about truly manifesting, we're talking about seeing something in your mind's eye, in that the Creator has shown to you, that God's shown to you, and setting your mind on it in a way that you align your beliefs, you align your perception with that thing, whatever it is. And then you patiently and faithfully keep doing every day of your life, and you head your mind and your will and your thoughts and your emotions in that direction. And really, that's such a beautiful, honorable thing to do as a human being. It's really exercising like the fullness of your mind, right? Imago Dei, as we say. Yeah, it's just truly being human, because God always wants us seeing things and going after things. We need rewards, you know? There's a book called, I can't remember what it is, but it was last year I saw it. It was like about having small wins and what that does psychologically to you. And a really wonderful practical tip for you guys is, if you want to create a winning streak in your life, set a very small goal that you can win for sure. It doesn't matter how small it is. I mean, you can laugh at yourself. You can be like, I want to do 1 push-up today. Do a push-up. Be like, small win. I want to throw my pants into the basket and actually have them go in. Small. Like, I'm being silly, but that's only because I couldn't think of anything better. You get the idea. And the small wins rewires your little brain into feeling better about yourself. You believe that because you know what it feels like to get your pants in the basket, right? It's like, yes, why do we all just, yes, I got it. Or whatever, just small goals. And don't put anything down that isn't achievable. That is really meant to create this beautiful winning streak that you can start building on in your life. And oh my goodness, I am talking about this because I'm right off track. I have been for, I don't know, the past year, maybe 2 years. Anyways, I've been pivoting from a place of belief system. And as you guys know, the one thing that has not changed is my Judeo-Christian root system. Those roots have just driven in down deeper than ever, which is great. That's probably one of the only things that didn't change. What do I believe in? How do my values align? What are my values? And going through that, I realized that, I grew up in the Pacific Northwest. I grew up skiing and running through mountains and hills on the Snake River Canyon, smelling dirt all the time, huge open skies, that indigenous land, especially in the area I grew up in, it really has such a strong spiritual, free and wild atmosphere. It's something that's funny. When I was young, I couldn't wait to get to the city or something, but the older I got and the more cities I lived in, the more I couldn't wait to get back. And it's very grounding when I go back there. But anyways, got to take my kids back a couple of years ago and taught them all to ski and took them to the mountain that I found myself on when I was young and I'll get emotional. I found myself on that mountain again at like 40 or however old, I think it was 40. And I was going up a ski lift actually, and I heard our Creator speak in, I won't share about that time. It was really too personal, but it was powerful. And something awakened in me again for creation, something awakened in me for just pure, honest living. And I stopped choosing my friends, my partners, my endeavors based on whatever box they came in. And instead, I just looked at the heart of everything. And I started to look at how things made me feel rather than what I thought up here. And I think it led me in the perfect direction. I think it led me in the most beautiful path. And everything now that is in my life is completely aligned. I'm reconciled with it. I'm in harmony with it. There's nothing in my life that that doesn't represent who I've worked so hard to be. And I say that because stallion energy, guys, right? Like, there is a certain amount of cost and sacrifice to really becoming who you are, and God knows that. So so this job, like, I've been sitting back going, yeah, I'm waiting to start my master's still, which is fine because all in divine timing. But this job came across my screen, and it was like wild retreat spa, out in a big park area, fires, cold plunges, saunas, all these things like sound baths, massage, yoga, like all these different things. And I just saw the words and I was like, geez, like, that sounds very healing. That sounds very connected to creation. Well, I reached out to this lady, and I said, I'd like to hear more about that. You know, I'll light a fire. You guys know me. You know how I feel about fire. Speaking of, gonna put my heater on. So anyways, yeah, I really do look a little mangy today. Working girl now. I'm a working girl. I was up at 5:30, and I've been out all day in the freezing cold. Oh, it's been good. Smelling fire. Ooh, I probably smell like a campfire right now. Anyways, all right. So, one more piece feels like it just got locked into place, and it's early days, but I just wanted to encourage someone out there. It's like one piece at a time, especially if you feel like you're rebuilding your life. I feel like a little bit of a, like saying this because it's so new. You know, I wouldn't say I've practiced what I am preaching right now yet. So just full disclosure. Can I tell you the rest of can I tell you the story? I should tell you the whole story. Can I tell you the whole story? Okay, story time again. I'm saying story time's still going. All right. I hope you guys aren't finding this too boring. So when I reached out to this, I wasn't going to tell you this part. I'm going to tell you. Okay. I don't care. It's fine. It is what it is. So I reached out to this lady and I said, I'd like to know about the job. And she wrote back, she said, you sound perfect, you know? Okay, come and, you know, meet me on a shift. And so she was doing this big under the night sky, you know, outdoor sauna session. And so I was supposed to come and just kind of be a client and experience it from the client's end. So I said yes. And then we scheduled a day, and then she wrote and asked if I could come the day early. So fine. But I had to rearrange a few things and it threw me off a little. And I hadn't had the full time to kind of read all the stuff she'd sent me in my email. So anyways, so first of all, I get into, I drive out the day before this just to check my route and, you know, trying to be organized, make sure I knew where I was going and how much time it would take me to get there. That was my intention. The next day, how about I rocked up there 6 minutes late? 6 minutes late. And I am sick because whilst I'm on the way there, I'm reading some of the email. And I was supposed to bring 2 towels, didn't have them. I was supposed to bring a bottle of water, didn't have it. And I, at my ripe, mature age, felt like I was about 15 getting my first job. And I was like, I'm going to be late. I cannot, sick. I was sick to my stomach. If there's any pride left in me, it was like shattered. So I was like, what do I do? Should I turn back? Should I just had some pretty extreme thoughts? You know what? I was like, no, just go. Just right. So I show up and I'm like, I am so sorry, you know? And I didn't even use the excuse, like you moved this to the last minute. So, you know, I didn't even use an excuse. I just said, sorry. I made a conscious decision when I got there or on the way. I am not going to lie about, like, my head was going through all of these, well, I could say this and that's why I'm late, or I could say this. And I saw myself in the car and I was like, no lies. No excuses. That's not how we start a brand new thing. I am really sorry. I did not read the fine print, and it is what it is. Like I had to show up with just like that. So she was like, "Oh, that's fine. Don't worry. It's just blah, 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 blah." Right. Okay, fine. So we do the session. I enjoyed it greatly. It was a funny night. Anyways, okay. So then she says, "Great. We'll come back on Saturday. We'll do a session together and you'll shadow me." Cool. So, all right. I can't even tell it without cringing. So okay, I do have to qualify myself. I have been waking up early for 25 years. Okay, I wake up, I meditate, it's not a problem for me. I wake up, I get other kids to school. I'm a very responsible, dependable, and organized person in reality. Now, am I late? Yes, I can be late sometimes. Not going to lie about that. But how about this morning? I don't wake up to my alarm. And I am going to be a half an hour late to the second time I've ever met this person with this beautiful business that I'm excited about. Let me just tell you, I messaged her and I said, I cannot even believe myself. I don't know why I didn't wake up to my alarm. I never don't wake up. I can only imagine the impression you have of me. And she writes back and she's like, by the time you get here, you'll have missed the bit you need, because we were going to shadow the opening bit. She's like, don't bother coming. It's fine. I'll message you later. Well, I walked my little tail home and I sent her a message and said, excuse me, I will not even put you in the awkward position of having to break bad news to me. I am an absolute tragedy. I said, this is your business. I wouldn't even first impressions, I wouldn't even hire me. So I just gracefully bow out and I really thank you. The session went wonderful. I'll still patron your spa and everything. And anyways, she wrote me back and she just said, oh, I'm so sorry. And you're right. So much of the job is about getting there in a time, you've got to open up. You've got to, And I was like, say no more. I get it. It's okay. You are doing the right thing. And I'm telling her she's doing the right thing. Okay. Weeks go by and I'm still a bit oh, that's a shame. Maybe I should just look in another direction and I couldn't figure out why that happened. Why was I so late? What happened there? It was really bothering me. And then I thought, well, maybe it was divine intervention, twice. That maybe once is crazy, but twice, no. So I just kind of let it go. I was like, all right, what are you going to do? Maybe I need to look for another spa, or that was just meant to kind of awaken the kind of job I want to align with or something. Anyways, yesterday, was it yesterday or the day before? 2 days ago, she wrote and she said, my dear, there has not been a candidate like you. I know this might sound crazy, but I choose your energy over anyone else. And so we might just have to put a few things in place. We might have to make sure you text me when you get there or something. And I was sitting there, let me say, okay, I could get emotional. I was like, really? You choose me? Again, I'm 16, but it was this feeling of, wow, I'm telling you guys, oh my gosh, you know me, it meant so much to me. And I think I do know why that happened a couple times. I did come to a little conclusion. This is testimony time. Okay. Anyways, I hope this is interesting. I really don't like to talk this much about myself personally, but I'm going to just stay with it. I figured out that it wasn't just divine intervention. I mean, I guess it could be. It could have been. It could have been a timing thing. Maybe I wasn't supposed to start over Christmas. But I was wondering, in a more responsible, if I'm taking responsibility fully for it, I was wondering if I self-sabotaged a little. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but I've been in a healing season, right? I've been studying, I've been going through a lot of like court hearings and personal challenges and things, and I love people. I love you guys, and I tend to be a warm and communicative person, but I think I was maybe in my head, because I got so anxious about the job yesterday. I think I was possibly feeling more afraid of getting back out into the world and working and interfacing with people than I knew. I don't know. I just wondered if that was it. I'm not taking it off the table, because when she came and then her message to me, I just felt like it was like this beautiful signal from the divine. Like, Autumn, what is yours will not pass you by. And the people that you are going to align with, they're going to see you, and they're going to see you and choose you, like you, who you are. And they're going to take chances. It's like, it was like this, she will never know how much that meant to me after, like, it means a lot for me for somebody to see my character. Anyways, maybe it does all of us, but it meant so much. It meant so much to me, almost so much that I would do the whole thing over, just as it were, to just hear her say, I still choose you. Just wreck me. It killed me. I was like, thank you, God. Truly. Anyways, look. That's going to be fun, but I'm going to be coming in a little bit wrecked sometimes. And then on the way back, I realized I had taken my car key off because I was getting my tire fixed. And I was locked out of my house, and I was like, oh, I was cold, we were out in the snow and doing all this stuff. And I had to like fix a hose. It was all very outdoorsy. I was like, feels like my former young life. Anyways, so I was very cold, and I wanted to get home, and I wanted to wrap up and get a warm cup of tea, and realized I didn't have my key. So bummed. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to walk to my landlord's, place and get the key. And on my way there, I found my neighbor who has the key to our shared door, and my other door was open. So I was like, touched by the heavens today. Thank you, God. And then we just walked back, and I got in, and I felt doubly blessed. So, my angels, I'm going to get one card for us today in celebration of a creator that's so good, knows us, knows that when we're rebuilding, we have to take one step at a time. But if we keep trusting and we keep believing and moving forward, that he's going to make sure that everything that is established is really, really authentically a part of what we are supposed to manifest in our lives, what we're supposed to be building, who we're supposed to be interlocking our arms with. I think this. You can only lock arms with two people, right? We've only got two arms. And in a weird way, it's almost to say you're going to have a couple people in your life at a time that you really can trust, that align with you. And they may journey with you for a minute or a while, but it's not more than a couple, right? And it means a lot to feel that the people on either side of you are holding you up, and their values are gonna hold you up, and yours are gonna hold them up, and you kind of got somebody to run with for a minute. And I don't know why I said that. That must be for some reason, because all right. Okay, my loves, let's get a card just for today. Oh, these ones are so big. Oh, okay. Big, but wanted to fly out. Oh, okay, this says, when I lean on the faith of, I'm going to say God, peace becomes real. When I lean on the faith of God. This says the universe. Peace becomes real. Beautiful. Beautiful. And the first thing that comes to my mind is just that you guys know I don't say universe simply because it's fine if people want to say that, but because I've obviously studied cosmology and the universe is a created thing. The cosmos came out of the Big Bang, came out of that moment of singularity. So the cosmos can't be the creator because the creator created the cosmos. Does that make sense? So I never say the universe because I don't worship the universe. I don't think the universe created me. I think the creator created the universe. And so that's why I don't say universe. Okay, that's the first thing that came to my mind. The second thing is faith. This is so cool. Faith, when we say we have faith, the best explanation I've ever heard is that it isn't our faith. We have the faith of our Creator. We have the faith of God. So this card is theologically very correct because we are leaning, when we have a little bit of faith for something, that is that heavenly desire that's aligning with us, that's going, follow this direction, follow this route, right? So I lean on that faith and then I lean in that direction. And that's what guided me to this job. I mean, this card is literally what I was just saying. And then the fruit of that is peace. This card maybe just said it more simple than I did. Peace becomes a reality, heaven on earth. We pull it, we manifest it into this realm. And I just have so much peace about this job because I did follow that thread and I did try my best and whatever happened, happened. But I was being authentically real. I wasn't lying. I was just showing up and going, oh, this is it. And showing up with as much integrity as I had that day, right? And God had a way of honoring that and showing me that even with my mistakes, he can make them not just remind me that he's in charge, divine, sovereign guidance in my life, but also to bless me and heal my heart, to show me something even deeper. Look, you can be honest in the midst of a lie would have been much more satisfying, okay? Let's be honest, and I have many times, you guys, I've made many excuses for why I'm late to things. It just, that time in particular, I wasn't going to let myself get away with it. And I think that's part of this little testimony is that God's trying to encourage me that your honesty, your integrity, that should guide you. It should, because if somebody isn't going to choose you over who you are, over being the real you, right? And showing up, then you got to let it go. Let it go. Because whatever is for you won't pass you by. Peace becomes real. And when I got there and I was setting up, listen to me when I tell you there were deer like in the distance there. I was like, she was like, you can bring your coffee when you're done setting up this and lighting the fires and da-da-da-da-da. And I was just like, it took everything in me to be like, you don't understand. I do this at my home, like every day. This is my life is like made of little rituals. And everything about it just looked like it will be perfect for this season. I'm so grateful. And I hope that really blesses you guys. I hope you can take something from that for yourself and whatever little seeds you needed to hear in that story, that they will bless you. And and I love you guys. And I will be back here tomorrow. I'm going to do a couple days of just prophetic psychology. Draw a card and just flow, because I just need to lighten my load this week. So I love you guys and have a good day. And Bye, my angels.